All right. Welcome back to the Know Your Numbers Real Estate Investing Podcast with your host, Chris McCormack. If you've tuned into this previously, you know it's been a while since we last recorded an episode, and there have been quite a few changes on our end. I am happy to say that I am happily married to my beautiful bride, Jasmine Lee McCormack, and together we have joined up in the Better Books business. She is helping us as the Chief Strategy Officer and helping us on the business development and growth side of things. As you may have heard in that introduction, the Know Your Numbers Real Estate Investing Podcast, we are focused on helping real estate investors pay less in tax, stay organized on their bookkeeping and accounting duties, and to do that, we know that they need more information. What we found is that a lot of real estate investors with 3 or more properties tend to be frustrated with the lack of sound tax and accounting advice they get from the accounting industry. And so what we do is focus on real estate investors with 3 or more properties to help them make timely decisions with proactive advice that allows them to grow their portfolios and pay less to the U.S. government. We know that the tax code is full of strategies for real estate investors and business owners. Today, we're really diving into the topic of tax planning because, as you heard, we offer proactive advice in the realm of real estate tax and accounting. Before I get to that, I would just like to recommend and encourage you that if you get any sort of value out of this, if you know anybody in the real estate field or even in the entrepreneurial field, go ahead and send them this episode so we can reach more listeners and help others keep more money in their accounts, better educate themselves so they can make those confident decisions in a timely manner. So with that being said, let's get to it. What is tax planning? And my friends, I thank you for asking that. It's on a lot of people's minds these days as there is a lot of uncertainty in the economy. The prices of just about everything have gone up in the past 2 to 3 years. And many people know that taxes are the biggest expense of your lifetime, but they also know that there's people out there that don't pay as much as they could be paying because they get sound tax advice or they just have the information they need. So we do look to decrease that big expense on people's bottom line so that they can have more money in their accounts and grow their portfolio. So tax planning is really about building relationships. From us at Better Books, we are relationship driven, and we know that relationships are the key to success in every industry, but also in the financial industry and the tax saving industry. You might think that's a little weird to hear about an accountant who is looking to build a relationship and how that's going to save people on taxes. But I tell you, if you don't have a strong relationship with your accountant and they don't know what's going on in your personal life, in your family life, in your business life throughout the year, you are shooting blind when it comes to looking for tax savings. Because when we meet with our clients and we know that, our client Trevor might be getting married later this year, then we can use that information, assess his current tax profile, and make key decisions or key changes to his financial decisions that will help him save in taxes. And we did actually advise one of our clients who is getting married later this year on the benefits of being married when it comes to the tax code and certain decisions that he should be ready to make upon marriage. And so because he came to us with that information and we were able to assess and determine, given the knowledge that we have, to what the best decision is moving forward, he is now going to pay less in tax. But it comes from a relationship standpoint. And for far too long, a lot of the accountants in the industry have met with their clients only maybe once a year in the months January through April. And they're like, okay, how has your business performed? What was your revenue? What were your expenses? Let's get your taxes taken care of. But they don't know the ins and outs of that person's life. And really, from a real estate perspective, we need to know what you got going on in your everyday life. So building relationships is key to sound tax planning, because it allows us to know that you're looking to add 5 properties in the next 3 months. And okay, what is that going to look like from a tax perspective? We also focus on relationships mainly because we know that there's power in being alongside somebody. The Bible says where 2 or more are gathered, he too is there in his name. And it also says that threefold cord is not easily broken. Basically what that means is that there's strength in numbers. And I look back, or I think about a story that was once told to me about the Belgian workhorses, right? The Belgian workhorses are this breed of horse that are very strong. Alone, one Belgian workhorse can carry upwards of 8,000 pounds on its own. Actually, you might know them from the Budweiser commercials a while back. Budweiser had the horses on their commercials, and these are just beautiful horses, big and burly, and they can do a lot of work, right? They draw carriages. They even have some events that you can go to and just watch horses carry a bunch of weight. So one Belgian workhorse can carry 8,000 pounds of weight. But when you put two Belgian workhorses together, you would think that, yeah, okay, two horses times the 8,000 pounds one horse can make, you can have 16,000 pounds carried between the two horses, but that's not the case. Two Belgian workhorses can actually carry upwards of 32,000 pounds together. They can carry quadruple, 4 times the amount that one Belgian workhorse can carry. And why is that? Because there is strength in numbers. And the same is true when it comes to tax planning or any financial advice or any area of your life that you're looking to improve, right? I just mentioned I got married. My life is better. I'm improving in other areas of my life because I now have Jasmine in my life to help me grow in certain areas. And the same is true for your tax life. We know that you're busy. We know that you're looking to add properties, to grow your business. We know that it takes a lot of manpower, and doing it on your own is hard enough. And then you have to think about taxes and certain decisions that are going to pay a significant price if you don't make the right decision. And that's going to cost you and your family thousands of dollars in the future. So we know that tax planning is about relationships because it allows you to pair up with a qualified tax professional who has the knowledge, who has the expertise, and give you that information to then go and make those decisions that are best for your family. So when we come and talk about tax planning, the first thing we focus on is building a relationship. We want to get to know you. We want to know your challenges. We want to know your triumphs. We want to know what you've been through, where you want to go, and how you can get there, or how you see yourself getting there. So then we have all the information we need to go and help you make the decisions that are best for your bank account, for your family, for your marriage, for your kids, and so that you're not stressed about the burden of taxes or even bookkeeping. So tax planning, first and foremost, is about building relationships. We also know that there's a lot of insights out there. There's a lot of knowledge out there, right? We live in a very informed world. With today's social media, you can get most information you need at your fingertips, at the click of a button, the touch of a screen, a quick Google search, or even a quick ChatGPT conversation. So we know that a lot of people are fairly educated in the realm of taxes and finances. But what tax planning does differently is it takes that information that you might have and puts it into a profile that fits your profile. It puts it into a plan that fits what you are looking for. And the only way we're able to do this is through a relationship with a qualified tax professional and the investor, who is yourself. So tax planning is about building relationships. It's about finding people who have the information or who can better communicate or better plan around the information that is relevant. As I mentioned, a lot of education around taxes, which is great. I love when I have a client or prospective client come to me and say, I read about this, I know about this, how can we utilize it? Because I know they're driven. I know that they want to make decisions and better themselves and their families for the future. But it helps to build a relationship with a tax professional who specializes in tax planning, especially in the real estate space, because of the expertise and the experience they have. We often point to the medical industry, right? My dad, a couple of years ago, had a benign tumor on his eardrum. And he found out about it probably almost a decade before that. And the doctors who he was seeing were telling him that we'll keep an eye on it. And when it gets to a certain point, we will probably have to operate and perform surgery on it. And he first came across the information because he was having some pain or balance issues and just knew that something was up. So then he went to the experts, the doctors on the issue, and got educated advice, the proper advice to help him make the decisions. Would he need surgery? Could he wait for surgery? Is the tumor cancerous? Is it even a tumor? All key information that just from his point of view, he wouldn't have known if he didn't go to the specialist. And 2 years ago, I think it was the end of 2020, he did end up getting 2021, I'm sorry, but he did end up taking the next step and getting surgery. But who he went to for surgery wasn't the same person that he went to for the initial diagnosis, right? So he took the problem, the insights that he had, the pain in his right ear, to his primary care doctor. His primary care doctor then took him to a specialist, and then his specialist looked at it over a course of time and then referred him to an operator, right? Somebody who was a surgeon and specialized in that surgery, so that he knew he could put his confidence in the procedure that was being done, because he wasn't trusting just anybody out there. He was trusting someone who was specialized in the industry. So we say tax planning, when done correctly, is with somebody who is an expert in the industry, right? You can go to your tax preparer down the street. You can go to TurboTax or H&R Block, but you're not going to get that expert advice that you need when you have a tumor in your tax profile, in your business structure, in your cash flow processes, right? We know that tax planning is about expertise. It's about building relationships with the experts, qualified and specialized for the procedures that you need. So to recap, we've talked about building relationship, we've talked about expertise. You know, you can get a lot of the information of taxes from Twitter or Instagram or Google, but when you're going at it blind and you don't have the person who has the experience in the industry or the knowledge in the industry, you're gonna be making decisions that aren't the best for you. You're gonna be confused and frustrated with the amount of information that is out there. You know, the tax code is thousands and thousands and thousands of pages long. It's hard enough for accountants to know the things that are in it, let alone business owner or real estate investor such as you, who is trying to build his business but also trying to master or think about or consider taxes, right? So we know that there's strength in numbers, that getting the right expertise helps take the weight, the burden that taxes can be, that those thousands of pages of the tax code can be. It takes that weight off of your shoulders and brings it to someone who is qualified. Lastly, tax planning, it's about savings. I mentioned at the start of this episode that taxes are the biggest expense of your lifetime. In an industry, in an economy that is overinflated, that there is so much talk about increasing prices and economic recessions, it is so important for us to have our costs and our income checked out. And if you know that you can save on an expense, then you're more likely to do that, right? We see this all the time. You know, when you go to a grocery store and you see that the bananas are on sale, you're more likely to get the bananas than you would the apples that are at a more expensive price. I can reference Jasmine. She's so meticulous in the way that she makes purchases, right? She has a specific hair and skin product that she enjoys, and I use it too. She's introduced it to me, and it works wonders. Great moisturizer, some good hair gel, some great products, right? And she loves this. They offer incentives. They actually even offer the ability to be a producer and start selling certain products. But what she also knows about this product is that there are oftentimes flash sales. And so what she does is plans her purchases around these flash sales, because it could save us hundreds of dollars by doing so, right? We know that we're going to pay for these hair and skin products. We value our body, we value our image, and so we know that we're going to invest in these products. So she's taken it upon herself to find the times where she can save that 30 or 40% on these products, and she buys it in bulk, right? So you know that you're gonna have to pay taxes, but if I'm telling you that there's ways that you can save on taxes, then you would want to do whatever you can to get that information and make those decisions, because these decisions have to be made in a timely manner, right? Just like that sale that Jasmine buys these products on is only for a specific amount of time. The decisions to save on taxes are only for a certain period of time, usually within the 12-month range of the calendar year. But there's also certain parts of the tax code that are only good for 2023 or 2024 or 2025. And so you need to meet with a qualified tax professional to say, when is this applicable to my life? When is it best for me to put this money over here and not over there? When is it best for me to invest in this thing and not that thing from a tax perspective? How is this decision to invest in this type of financial product going to impact my taxes 15 years from now? So it's about timeliness. It's about building relationships, and it's about building relationships with the experts. Remember, 2 is better than 1. Remember, there are experts. You seek out expertise. You want the expert working on your tax situation, right? We go to experts for our medical or our dental issues. We should also go to the experts for our financial issues. Don't trust everything you hear online. Take it to a qualified tax professional, vet the information, and then make decisions based on what your tax planner discusses with you. And lastly, tax planning is about saving and making savings within the year and not after the year. So 3 things that tax planning is about: building relationships, meeting with experts, and saving. Guys, I'm so glad that I'm able to be back here and recording these podcasts. It is a joy of mine, and it's been a long time coming. This is the first one in a few months. Granted, there's been a lot of changes in our lives and in our business, and I'm really looking forward to getting more consistent with this. The goal is to produce 1 episode a week, and so we are marching forward in that. And like I said, it's a lot of tax and financial and accounting for real estate investors, because we found that there's a big gap in the real estate tax industry. So if you enjoyed listening to this episode, do us a favor and leave us a 5-star rating and review. And then if you enjoyed it and know somebody who can get some value out of it, go ahead and share it with a friend. We so appreciate you guys. We wish God's blessing over you and look forward to connecting with you soon.